This is the first of two videos where I'm going to talk about other kinds of function questions. We spent a lot of time talking about the algebra of functions and the graphs of functions. Now we're going to talk about questions in which you neither have the graph or the equation. So they come in two types. You have this type where you have the table of values, the table of points, and it's kind of a word problem with the table, and there's a few different ways they can ask those. We're going to go through one, check out the book for more. That type is becoming more and more common. You see them quite a bit in the new Red Book and in the most recent released ACTs. Second type is the word problem. It's usually like a piecewise function in the real world. And check out the video on that. They're usually Roman numeral questions. They're not too bad. Again, there's practice problems in the book. Okay, so in this one, we're given two functions, f of x and g of x. And we're told these ordered pairs for these functions. Now this is our x. Remember, x is the input of functions. We stick x into things to spit out y's. And remember, y is equal to f of x or g of x. So x, this is the y that goes with it. This is the ordered pair. Or this is the ordered pair. Ordered pair. Or this is the ordered pair. You can say point and point. Now we're missing the values for 1. That's a common trick. Sometimes we'll ask you about the blank row. And sometimes we'll just do that to make it a little harder to figure out what's going on. 2, the point here, and then the points here. So we need to figure out which one is linear. One of these functions is linear. That's the one we're interested in. Linear functions have a consistent slope, meaning that the difference between values is always the same, right? So the difference between 1x and the next x, between -1 and 0, a change of 1 in x, will be the same here as it is here, here, here. So just look for what looks consistent. Okay, here I change from 1.6 to 2. That's an increase of 0.4. Okay, increase of 0.4. That's consistent. So it looks like g of x is going to be our linear function, but let's check. So 2.6, 1.4 blank, 1.4, 2.6. Well, that sounds kind of like it's a parabola, although it could be other kinds of functions. So that one's not out because why? Lines never change directions, first of all, right? This obviously changes direction, has a turning point, at least one turning point, and it's not consistent. While by not consistent, I mean we drop 1.2 here, and while the absolute value of that change, the drop of 1.2 change is the same as here, it's changing directions. So g of x is the one we're interested in. I don't need to think about this anymore. One of the ways people get tripped up on these problems is they say, well, what do I need to do with the f of x now? I mean, I got to do something with it. It can't just be there. Well, it's there to delay, confuse, and test you on that extra little concept of finding the line based on the point. All right, so here we go. The second trap is people want to find this for 1. It's so easy to do that. Oh, there's a blank. So it'll be between 2 and 2.8. I know I got 0.4, so it'll be 2.4. It's not 1. One thing you can do to make this easier on yourself is at some point write down you're looking for when x is equal to -3 in some way. So I'm at -1. I'm just going to step it backwards. If -1 is equal to 1.6, then -2, I'm going to get smaller, be 1.2. Equal sign's inappropriate there. Should use an arrow or something. And then -3 will be 0.8. That's all there is to it. It's all about identifying and working with the points in the equation the way it is. The second most common way this is asked is they'll ask you what the maximum or minimum function is or value is of a function given in a table. And what you'll do is you'll look at the turning point, right? It'll be right in the middle of this turning point. So this turning point was right in between 0 and 2, so the lowest or highest point will be 1. In this case, the lowest. That's really what you need to know on this. This is one of the times where I don't usually recommend drawing a sketch out because I don't think it's going to help you for the most part. This is just best done by just working directly with the points. A point contains a fair amount of information for you to work with. So not just here, but in other places, really consider using it. Make sure you check out the next video on piecewise functions, and we'll talk about marking off on those Roman numeral style questions.